Sora 2 has just launched. Now everybody is talking about what a killer video app this is. Kipp and I want to tell you why Sora 2 and OpenAI have just killed social networks. TikTok, Instagram, Meta, they're all gone. And it's not for the reason you think. We're going to bring you through the best features, why this app is on fire, and tell you why this app could be the end of social networks as we know it. All of that and more on this episode of Marketing Against the Grain.
We're here today, we're talking to you about Sora 2. And Sora 2 is the next generation of OpenAI's video model. But Kieran, they did something very different. They made it a standalone application. And not only is it just like an interesting, better updated video model, and we'll talk about that, but they've also are turning it into a social network, right?
I think by now you've maybe seen some of the videos. If you haven't, we're going to show you some of the funny videos that you can do with it. Very similar to VO3, 8 seconds. But I want to call out some of the real interesting things that they have done here. And so Sora 2, the app, is basically a quote-unquote TikTok clone, an AI TikTok clone. But there's some interesting things they have done to figure out problems that other apps like VO3 have had. And so when you log on to Sora 2, one of the things you'll do is, you know, when you've got a new Apple phone and you're doing the face detection and you're like, oh, holy shit, like, can you not see like you're doing the whole thing? You do that, right? So it clones you. So you create an AI model of yourself. Now, the other smart thing they have done, and I'm going to go into why that's so smart, just as part of the onboarding process, the other smart thing they have done is they get you to say 3 words. And so they clone your voice. So prior to needing to do this, you would have had to go and do this with different tools, right? You would have had to go clone yourself with HeyGen and then go use 11 Labs. You come into Sora 2, you create an AI model of yourself, then you can create an AI voice clone, your own voice, and then you can say, now I'm going to create content with myself, or based upon permissions you set, any other person who's part of the network. And anytime if I include you in one of my videos, you get automatically tagged when that video goes live. Right? It's a clever marketing. Clever. It's engineer-led marketing because they have figured out virality is going to be driven by me. Like this whole network, they've created like a community around the process of creating AI, which VO3 never had, right? And the other thing that they've managed to do is they've solved character consistency, because what have I said about VO3 is like it's 8-second clips and it's really hard to maintain character consistency across those 8 seconds. But now this network has a bunch of AI clones, and so the character consistency is always the same because you're tagging and using those clones. So Sam Altman today is probably the most memed human there has ever been ever. Maybe that's what he wanted.
We're going to show some of those memes in a minute so that everybody gets a sense of it. But I thought this tweet from friend of the pod, we need to get a new back on here, a new at LaRue. I like how she signed it up. Rip to owning your likeness. So one of the things that's interesting about this is that when Facebook started, what they actually did was they got your social graph and they mapped your social graph, and then they were able to sell ads on top of your social graph. This is like the next derivative of that, Kieran, where right now it says you own your likeness, but they also in the terms of service have the ability to update their terms of service. So like, how much of your likeness do you actually own? And this is going to freak a bunch of people out.
I do think you own your likeness because I think you have to set permissions to allow people to use that within the app. So I can basically say use content just I'm allowed to use my AI model, or I suspect I can actually set permissions to allow other people to use the model. And so what is this setting, like, what's this setting up for? Well, how easy is it now to add payments?
Yes, which they announced Stripe partnership to do that, right? They're going to do a ton of payments for likenesses and all that kind of stuff, right?
So now I'm in the app and I can say I'm going to pay Kipp some money to use his likeness in my video. And then what else have they just hired? They've hired someone to build a paid ad platform. So now I have payments to use creators in my video, their AI models, and now I have someone working on my pay platform. And so it does make a ton of sense that you can, I would actually say that this tweet maybe is wrong in that you will own your likeness and you could probably monetize it within the app.
Well, I think the question is how much do you actually own and how much do they own? And I think she's kind of pushing on it's new, but I think you and Anu agree on a few things, that like the growth loop around this app is very good. The
Very
onboarding
good.
is good. The Cameo feature does make it very accessible, highly mimic, and like creates a new class of creators. I think is generally right.
Just to give users a quick, what is Cameo? Because you mentioned, I think they're the big virality loop here. The thing they've done different is the Cameo feature, which is when you've cloned yourself and you've set permissions in a certain way, you can use that likeness in any video. So obviously Sam has created a version of himself and has allowed anyone to use that likeness within any video. So this was the number one trend in video.
Yeah,
on the
5
app
million views
yesterday.
on this video on
Right.
on X.
Right, which was him stealing GPUs in was it Best Buy or Target? Or one of those?
Target, yeah.
It does make you think, like, how do you even become a creator in this era? Like, you only really are valuable if people already know your likeness. But the other one I wanted to quickly show is because the other thing is one of the other big developments is it now comes with sound. That wasn't a previous. So like, here's a really fun ad. So I would just say, like, the difference in me growing up and people growing up today, right? So I remember when I was like really young and trying to earn a little bit of money, I had this game, and this game was basically get a 3-liter bottle of Coke or whatever. It was like 3-liter bottle, and then tip all of that out, fill it with water, and then you pay like 10p to enter. Whoever could drink the most water got a toy that I got free from a cereal box, but no one knew that, right?
You're a sick little kid, man.
This game took off around the housing estate, but I had to like close it down because someone got really sick and puked everywhere. But think of that story now when you see this ad, right? This is like this is an ad that someone has created for a bag of water.
Introducing the hottest thing since ice, bag of water. Whoa. It's ordinary water locked in a see-through pouch. Shake it, stare at it. That's literally all it does.
How good are these 1980s haircuts?
It's so good.
This literally looked like me when I was younger.
That I can see that.
I actually had that exact tracksuit. So you can make like really fun stuff, and it comes with sound now as well. So definitely an incredible tool to create a ton of AI slop, and who doesn't love the AI slop? AI slop is a term people have kind of been calling it, which is just like sugar for your brain.
Here, I'll give you another one just so that we can all see it. I don't know if you've seen this one yet.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Mario jumping out. This legit would have been an ad a couple years ago.
This could 100, like if you extend that by a couple of clips, that's an incredible ad.
100%.
So to kind of like recap where we are, I think the onboarding process really cool. Creating the AI model, very cool. Creating a clone of your voice, very cool. The Cameo feature really is the standout feature for me, that you can easily use your own likeness and get consistency across every video, or I can use someone else's likeness and I can get consistency across every video. I think, again, it's super smart for Sam to launch and allow anyone to create a video with his likeness.
One of the things I did want to show here is I did find a good side by side of Sora 1 versus Sora 2, because we haven't actually talked that much about like, cool, like, is the video actually better, or is it just a social app? They did make a meaningfully better video product.
It's so much better.
It's so much better, and like here's like a pretty good side by side.
Got it.
You know, you can see on the right is Sora 2, much better lighting, much better realism, much better physics. On the left is Sora 1 that's playing now. You can tell it is super, super fake and super bad, right?
Yeah.
And so they did make a credibly better video model. And I suspect as marketers, as business owners, founders, will be using this video model via API and other things. But the Sora app itself is clearly a consumer play.
I think because of the consistency, like if I show you a little clip from their launch video, because of the ability to do the consistency across clips. So if you look at their launch video, I want to kind of pause it in a minute. I'll play a bit of it. So this was all created using Sora 2.
1 year ago, Sora 1 redefined what was possible with moving.
So I want to show something. Like, this is Sora 2. Look, this, because it works on the AI model where you've cloned yourself. Look how detailed this is, right? Look at the
really
lighting on the hair. Look at every aspect of the face. This, to me, is the big unlock, is that you're able to scan yourself. And so the consistency across clips. So this is like a clip, but you'll see it fades into another clip.
Today, we're announcing the Sora app. powered by the all-new
You can
Sora
still
2.
tell with like the lip syncing in the mouth
Yeah.
and stuff that it's
Just a
AI,
little bit,
and
but
it's-
like
we're not here hyping this up. It is definitely a meaningful
Engine
step
ever
forward.
built.
this is so good, right? Like it
Yeah, the
keeps that
physics are way
consistency.
better.
Yeah.
And the character consistency are way better.
People were saying it's really easy to tell it's not Sam because it has so much more energy and life. Pretty brutal.
Sam's too busy trying to take over the world.
Yeah, he doesn't have time for this, but he seems pretty like that.
Imagination engine ever built.
It's great for a CEO like Sam because he can be in all these ads and he doesn't have to be in the ad.
It's wild.
So,
he is the most memed person ever.
Right. I want to show you my like favorite, but that I like that. That's the thing I would like really keep in your brain is like you can now create any of these videos. You could clone your entire exec team and have them in all of your ads and never have to actually ask them to be in any of the ads. I think that's huge. Yeah, I want to show my favorite Sam. My favorite Sam one is there's so many, but like this is Sam as a Waymo.
Sam Altman as a Waymo. That's pretty good. I've got. I don't think you've seen this one yet. I'll share
How
it. How
dystopian is that?
Homeless Sam.
I'm telling you, the robots are coming. They're already talking to the streetlights, whispering in the traffic signals. Algorithms are going to drive the buses, write the checks, write the laws. You're free. He's training them with your thumbs. They're going to plug into the clouds, and the clouds are going to rain metal. And I'm telling you,
Jesus.
Oh, that was good.
Oh god, we are so we're toast.
We're so cooked. We're so
toast.
cooked.
We're so toast.
Look, video has the highest ROI of any marketing channel. We all know this, but most marketers don't use it because it's expensive and slow. Now with Google Veo 3, you can create professional marketing videos in minutes. No crew, no budget, just a prompt. We put together a guide that shows you exactly how to do it. The prompt and structure, wheel examples, and actual outputs. It's got everything you need to start creating videos with AI. Get it right now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Now let's get back to the show.
But I do want to talk about the application, the use case. What do people need to care about, and how should they think about Sora 2 now that we've kind of broken down everything that's happening? I thought Greg Eisenberg had a bunch of takes on X. Greg's coming on the show soon. I think his first take I actually agree with. Someone will buy a synthetic Sora 2 style account for $10 million or more. Somebody's going to create a really popular account because they're going to be really creative at coming up with memes and cultural influences.
On what platform? Like TikTok or something?
I think on the Sora 2 platform, but it will extend to those other platforms. They'll have to buy the Sora 2 account, but it will, because it's popular across all the video sharing accounts, is what I believe. The reason for that, and like the big shift that I think is really hard for most people to get their head around, Kieran, is that right now a meme is like taking this thing that happened in culture and packaging it in a multitude of funny ways, right?
Right.
Somebody is going to create, like manufacture the thing that happened in culture. Wouldn't even happen. They're going to manufacture such obtuse or absurd things, but are still rooted in realism, that it's going to really touch people's sense of humor and like creativity. And it's going to be kind of a new form of art and creatordom. I really do believe that.
Yeah, I think proactive memes where the entire thing came from the meme itself. It is a new form of, it is 100% a new form of creation.
I like that he's like, there's an opportunity to create a non-AI Instagram. You and I were WhatsApping about this. The social web looks very different where AI, when it's just like AI slop everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good thing. I just don't think it's a good thing. I think that it would be much better. Look, if you give people something, they're going to do it en masse, and only a small percentage of those people are good at it. And so, for the most part, it's going to be awful. I wouldn't be surprised to see Elon downweight a ton of that AI work video within X. I've always thought that AI is going to push people towards more human to human experiences. And so I could see a social network where you have to, which I think is very controversial at the moment actually, but you have to validate yourself.
Yes.
You have to verify that you're real, and that being a pretty popular place to hang out, because I find the AI stuff cool. I love creating it. Do I think that there is any value in me sitting there for hours consuming it? No, it rots your brain.
I think in some ways we're going to push to the far end of what's been happening on the internet over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, right? And like
Which
the
worries me.
marginal cost of making anything comes to zero.
Exactly.
A song, a video, a painting, whatever. Then what is a value? Because there's
Yeah.
always two ends of the spectrum, right? Like if the cost to create something, marginal cost is zero, and the skill and expertise kind of gets washed out, then what's the other side of that? And the reason we're talking about this on the show, because we talk about marketing stuff on the show, is the other side of this is where marketing is going to shine, right? With companies that can deliver, in the early days, it'll be like the cool brands that are early on Sora and do some clever stuff. Greg's here being like, feeds are going to be unrecognizable in 3 months. I don't know if it's 3 months, but it's probably 3 to 12 months. And so as a company, as a business, how are you going to stand out? And some people are going to build armies of these AI creators, and some people are going to try to bring humans back together, and both will probably win in their own way.
Well, I don't know what the incentive is for social platforms to allow this to happen en masse, because the reality is they're trying to drive usage and payments. They're trying to, or like, impressions to allow advertisers to sell ads against. And so I don't think there's value in this kind of content being the dominant content on like X or LinkedIn or any of these places, because they actually need to drive real human usage. And I think this stuff actually probably does not improve usage over the long term. It actually makes the feeds much, much noisier. I love this. So there's like two parts to me. I love these tools because it unlocks creativity. And I think creating things is the best thing in the world. Like being able to craft things,
Making things matters.
Yeah, it just makes you happy, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Do I want to have my entire online experience dominated by AI created slop? No. And a good example of that is I freaking cannot understand why people have decided that I know I talk about this en masse online. We have AI and there's people who think automating my comments on LinkedIn is a fucking good thing to do with AI. And that's the level. There are people like that who like, I can use this to scale it in really shitty ways, and that's a really good example. It actually makes going on to. I like LinkedIn. You don't like it as much, but there's actually a good conversation on there. But the AI comments have already ruined that conversation. It drives me nuts. I have some guy who like has set his little agent to like everything I do. Oh. It's weird. It's scary. It's like, what is wrong with these people? And it's not like no. I don't know the value. Like, I think that person's an idiot. I think all these people, I can see their comments and I'm like, wow, that person like sucks. I would never interact with that person.
So this is a very important point, right? The best marketers throughout human history have been able to either go counterculture or tap into culture. And a lot of AI is enabling bad marketers to just like be culturally irrelevant. Like to like everything you do is like culturally irrelevant, right? It's like there's no signal, and so it's going to create a whole wave. And so we're telling anybody watching, don't do those things. Also, I think we're just not ready for the implications. I mean, we're to the part of the show where I'm just going to talk about all the weird stuff. But it's like, what does this mean for death?
Yeah.
Like if I've got like this model of me that you can create a video of me doing or saying whatever,
it's
like
weird. It gets weird.
What does that do for like the notion of death and how you own, how these accounts and your likeness exists after your death? Like it's
bizarre.
Humanity is not yet prepared for where we are currently heading, and we'll get there, and we'll evolve and change. But it's gonna be a real mind twister.
But what is the value? Like a creator today, or like an influencer or a creator, their value is a value because they probably pick and choose the things that they do. What is the value of a creator when you can just scale that? You instead of that person being in 5 videos because that's who is able to pay them that amount of money to be in those videos, I can do the long tail, and so I can be in 5,000 videos. But like, how quickly do humans get bored of that person because they're in 5,000 videos? Probably. Totally. Like the human, like one of the core things about people is we get bored of things very, very quickly, and I think that time is shrinking with all of this stuff, right? And our attention span is like, okay, well, I'm bored of this, move on to the next one. And I think that's one of the downsides of this, is that maybe it's just harder to like stand out for longer, right? If you start to like license out yourself to allow it to be created en masse. Like I'm already bored of Sam Altman. I've seen him in every single video on my X feed.
Yeah, it used to be 15 minutes of fame. Now it's 15 seconds of fame.
Yeah, 15 seconds
Right?
of fame. It used to be 15 minutes of fame, and you were in like 4 or 5 things, and now 5 seconds of fame, and you're in a million things, right? Because you can
Totally.
scale that thing infinitely.
You can get
and I think that's
oversaturated.
Problematic, right?
You can get oversaturated in a way that's just insane now.
Right, exactly.
Like now, if you're Sam, you're like, oh, there's going to be a backlash against Sam just because he's in this stuff.
The thing about that is, I just like, he's a serious guy. That stuff is on the internet forever.
I know.
But I guess I guess like you have to be a user of your own technology. I don't know. My brain is a little bit. I think the cloning thing has really and making it so easy to do cloning at scale, I think is like huge development here, and I don't know the implications.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty sizable. I think people are going to miss how sizable that Cameo tool is.
I think it is going to disrupt social networks. I don't know if it's for the good or for the bad, and it's very early to see.
It's 100% for the bad. Have you seen anything disrupt? Have you think anything good about social networks over the past 2 years? We're going down a different path here, but like they have not.
No, I understand.
Worse.
Well, and by the way, what's interesting, just as an aside, is that you have Meta and OpenAI kind of competing on opposite paths. It's like OpenAI is coming and launching Sora 2, and this week the Meta Ray-Ban displays come out, with Meta getting deeper into hardware, kind of competing where OpenAI and Johnny Ive want to go. Which, just as a closing aside, you have to schedule a 25-minute demo at Best Buy to buy the Ray-Ban displays.
They really want to sell you on the value of them. They want to.
They
improve
really
their
want you to
retention.
know how to use those things, and
Yeah.
they really want to limit the
retention.
number of pairs out there.
Yeah. I think that's a smart thing to do because you want to make it feel like it's special, but you also want people to use them.
Which is kind of the opposite way of what Sora 2 is doing. So I'm very interested to see how the next 6 to 12 months play out in all of this.
Yeah. Look, I will be happily online when I get my access, creating lots of slop all over the place. So it's not as if I'm not gonna
we
use
will
that
do
tool.
a whole Sora 2 deep dive show, and we'll make videos, and we'll talk about the marketing use cases, the social network potential, all of those things. But I don't know. I think you and I just felt compelled to come in, talk a little bit about the launch, the improvement of technology, but more so like the impact on marketers, social media, the internet, of what we think is going to happen here.
A social media marketer should just be a prompt engineer.
It's quickly moving in that direction.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been a wild show. I think both of our brains hurt. I think this is probably going to be another ChatGPT launch kind of moment where people will look back and be like, oh, remember like when everybody recorded their own video? And it's going to be kind of wild. But I think I'm a little bit of a loss for where the world is going from here. And I think that's where you and I kind of land. But we're going to keep figuring it out, and we're going to evolve right there with you all. I hope that you enjoyed the show today. We'll see you real soon on Marketing Against the Grain.
This data is wrong every freaking time.
Have you heard of HubSpot? HubSpot is a CRM platform where everything is fully integrated.
Whoa, I can see the client's whole history, calls, support tickets, emails, and here's a task from 3 days ago I totally missed.
HubSpot. Grow better.